My dream for a workplace would be ageless. I can be 56 and you can be 25 and we can work together and learn from each other. That's the world I would like to work in. I was working in a job that was really miserable, and suddenly out of the blue, I got this call saying there's a show called Silicon Valley. Would you want to come to LA and work on season 2? And I was like, would I? And I've spent a lot of time writing satire about the tech industry, and it's really ripe for satire. We actually had last season in Silicon Valley a whole storyline where the guys are told they need to hire an older CEO. And that was a lot drawn on sort of my experience of being the old guy in a company and what does that feel like. I took the job at HubSpot knowing I was twice the age of the average employee there, but I was looking forward to it. The thing I really loved about working with young people is there's sort of no fear of failure. I really didn't want to be perceived as the grumpy old guy in the office who's always telling you why this won't work or that won't work or we already tried that. And yet at times I think I was that guy. I think it was toward the end of my time there where it started to add up. Maybe it's my age that puts people off here. The tech industry has a huge problem with diversity, and it's in everybody's interest to fix this.
My name is Jeff Scott, an Associate State Director for AARP Illinois. AARP is a nonprofit, nonpartisan member organization and has been working to promote the health and well-being of older Americans for more than 60 years. AARP is proud to represent all those who are 50 plus in Illinois and our 1.7 million members. And we thank you for the opportunity to be your wise friend and fierce defender. Our mission is to enhance the quality of life as we age, leading positive social change and delivering value to members through advocacy, service, and information. At AARP, we know that staying fit is one of the pillars of healthy living, and we want to help you guide your fitness journey. Physical activity can boost memory, improve thinking, even lower dementia risks. And it's not too late to start. Have a wonderful class and enjoy, and thank you.
Hi. I'm Gail Herzog with Senior Services Plus, and I'm so happy to be here with you today to experience our chair yoga class together, where we combine mind, body, spirit, and emotions for our full, complete experience. We know that yoga is a lifestyle, a way of being into the world, and so we recognize the importance of integrating breathing with movement and intention. And for all of our yoga classes, we're invited to set an intention at the beginning of each of our classes. So it could be anything that you want to bring energy to, like if you've chosen a word for the year, or if there is a certain quality that you would like to further take root and enhance, if there's a habit that you would like to release and let go that allows you to live your happiest, fullest, best life. There's a person that you want to yoga your practice with. There's a cause or an intention bigger than us that we want to link our practice with. It's just a nice habit to ingrain to have an intention as we begin our practice together. So for our chair yoga, we'll invite ourselves to scooch down towards the edge of the seat. We look down and we see that our feet are grounded and rooted. Imagine that you have roots coming out of the very bottom of your feet, going down into the earth, being nourished and enriched by the earth herself. Drawing the belly slightly back, engaging it, squaring the shoulders, having the ear, the shoulders, and the hips all in beautiful alignment. Imagine that we have that beautiful golden thread starting at the base of the spine, lifting us up, lifting the crown of the head up into the heavens. So that we remind ourselves that as human beings, we are smack dab in the middle between heaven and earth, receiving the energies and sharing them, moving in both directions. So as we begin, let's just let our hands fall down to the side. Let's come into our loose coat sleeves. This is where we envision we have a coat draped over our shoulders. And we're not going to put our arms in the sleeves. So we're going to let our body remain in the alignment that we're in right now. And then let the arms twist to one side and then twist to the opposite side, leaving the belly slightly engaged. The eyes are going to remain looking straight ahead. Yeah, just feeling that gentle little twisting movement just to start to warm things up just ever so slightly and gently. Excellent. Even as we do this, we can feel our core doing the work to carry us around from side to side. Excellent. So now we're going to add to that by taking one hand, crossing the body, finding right below the shoulder, the upper chest, and tap it to whatever intensity you would like to, while we take the opposite hand back behind and tap right above the waistline. And we'll continue to do those little zigzag movements as we tap into those meridian lines, those energy lines into the body. Once again, warming ourselves up, preparing to receive the fullness of our practice. And everybody has busy, busy lives, we know, so that when we arrive at our yoga practice, we invite ourselves to fully be here, letting go of our to-do lists, our unresolved conversations, whatever it might be that could be weighing us down ever so slightly, or maybe a little heavily. We say, okay, you know what? I'm going to just let that be and dedicate myself for these moments for my yoga practice, knowing that after I do so, I will be in a better position to handle whatever responsibilities I have. Excellent. Last little zigzaggy, and then we'll just let the hands fall down to the side and let them shake out. Beautiful. Now let's just let the hands float to the left, resting gently. And we're going to envision that we have a mirror going horizontally right in front of our faces. And we're going to be making a beautiful little design on this mirror. So imagine that when you pull away from the mirror, you're going to see the beautiful design you've drawn. So I'm going to pass out the paints and invite you to choose a color that you think is just a great color. Paint it on the tip of your nose. And then place your nose right on that mirror. And then start to make gentle little circles. Imagining that you are drawing, if you will, coloring, painting, making the flavor of lollipop. And each circle is getting just a bit bigger. Going in that lateral movement from shoulder to shoulder. Good. Feeling a little bit of loosening up. Excellent. Going more slowly than you think you might ordinarily go. One last movement in this direction. And as you finish that, let the nose come to that midpoint just where you started. Now I'm going to pass out other paints, other flavors. Sometimes people like to imagine flavors. And then paint that on the tip of your nose. Place your nose just to the side of that dot in the middle where you begin. And of course, we're going to go in that opposite direction. So whichever direction you started in the first place, go that opposite direction. With your circles, filling in those colors, filling in those flavors. So maybe you're imagining raspberry red and lemon yellow, for example. Sometimes people like to attach flavors to their colors. And we're going around, noticing the differences perhaps that you are aware of when you go in one direction compared to the other. Paying attention to those subtle body differences that we are aware of sometimes. As we move through our practice, we're invited to pay attention to these three things. First, breath. We allow the body to breathe itself in a natural, smooth, easy rhythm, surrendering to that exhale. Or are we clenching, gripping, tightening, waiting to exhale? Last circle going in this direction. And then as we finish that, we let the head come back to that neutral position. Just leaning back ever so slightly, admiring our beautiful artwork. Fantastic. Good. Now letting the hands fall down to the side, opening up the palms, facing opposite walls. Once again, check your alignment. Make sure that you are in that elegant alignment. I always want to check my where my feet are lined up because I have a tendency to have my right foot sink up ahead of my left, for example. What do you notice about your tendencies? Well, now we're going to let the arms float up to shoulder height, pausing, the palms facing upward. And on our way up, we're going to wiggle pinkies on both hands. Float. Rings on both hands. Float. Middles on both hands. Float. Pointers. Float. Thumbs. Float. We're at the top. Flat. Pause. We're going to take a 6-count inhale through the nose. Now flip, so backs of the palms are touching. Now take a 6-count exhale, also through the nose. Arms are floating down to shoulder height. Palms are facing downward. On our return trip, we're going to begin by wiggling thumbs on both hands. Float. Pointers. Float. Middles. Float. Rings. Float. Pinkies. Float. Excellent. Shake it out. Round 2. Palms fall open, arms float up. Palms are facing upward. And once again, way to the top, we wiggle pinkies. Rings. Middles. Pointers. Thumbs. We're at the top, we're going to clap, pause. 6-count inhale through the nose. Flip, so backs of the palms are touching. 6-count exhale, also through the nose. Arms float down to shoulder height. Pausing, palms are facing downward. Returning, we start with thumbs. Float. Pointers. Float. Middles. Float. Rings. Float. Pinkies. Float. Back to the starting place and shake it out. Round 3, last round. This time we'll pay particular attention to our own observations about ourselves. Is it easier for us to isolate fingers simultaneously when the palms are facing up and down? So you can't be wrong. It's just whatever you notice about yourself. Arms float up to shoulder height. pausing, making our way to the top. We begin with pinkies, float, rings, float, middles, float, pointers, float, thumbs, float for the top, flat, pause. 6 count inhale through the nose. Flip, so backs of the palms are touching. 6 count exhale, also through the nose. Arms float down to shoulder height. Palms are facing downward. Returning, start with thumbs. Float. Pointers. Float. Middles. Float. Rings. Float. Pinkies. Float back to the starting place and shake it out. The second thing that we are invited to pay attention to after we pay attention to the breathing are the sensations. What physical things do we notice? Let's take our hands out in front. The palms are facing down. And we're going to practice with opening and closing the hands at varying speeds. So fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, like we're going through molasses, as slow as we can go. Now we're going to flip so the backs of the palms are facing each other. Still, arms are out at shoulder height if we can. We always make whatever adjustments we need to make for ourselves, honoring the wisdom of our own body. Fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow. Excellent. Now twist. So the palms are facing each other. Fast, slow, fast, fast, slow. Now we're going to turn so the palms are facing upward. Fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow. Back to the starting place. Letting the hands dangle, let them shake out. You might ask yourself, which of those 4 positions did you notice what was going on? With the bones, the joints, the tendons, the ligaments, the nerve flow, the blood movement, whatever physical sensations you noticed. And then thirdly, what does it make us feel? Those emotions, those issues in our tissues. So now we're going to come to our seated cow cat. You can find a place that feels good for you in your chair. Once again, check on the alignment. You want to make sure that we're beautifully aligned for that elongated posture. The belly is engaged. We're going to take the hand. I'm going to take my hand to the bottom of the chair. Inhaling as we look upward. And arching back to whatever level feels right for you. Let the head fall back between the shoulders. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Please honor the place in your body that you know where you need to be for your cow pose, your spinal extension. Making sure to keep the belly slightly engaged as we inhale, looking upward. And counterpart to that pose, the cat. Excuse me, where we do just the opposite. We draw the belly to the back of the spine, drop the chin to the chest, round the shoulders as we look down and exhale. For our cat or our spinal flexions. Please continue to do that at your own pace, inviting yourself to slow down more slowly than you ordinarily would go. Take a little sip of water here while you're doing it. And listen to what you notice when you're breathing, your sensations, your emotions. Forward and backward movement of the spine are 2 of the 6 ways the spine could move. Including side to side and twisting to each side. One last out at spinal extension and flexion. Following your own pattern of breath. Exhale. Pause. Let the head float to that neutral position. Let the arms fall down to the side and let them shake out. We're going to come into our Kundalini circles, or our energy circles, stirring the pot, however you would wish to envision this. So we're going to let the hands come to the tops of the hips and sides of the waist. You can spread your feet a little further apart. We want to resist the temptation to lift our feet or our seat as we make these circles. So we're going to lunge forward, have a little pause. Start to take a sip of breath and then start moving in one direction. As slow, as wide, as deep, as slow as you go. One full circle is one full breath. An inhale and an exhale without pause. Once again, inviting yourself to do it more slowly than you ordinarily would go. You'll remember a while ago we practiced the 6 count, inhale and exhale through the nose. As we did, our arms extended and simultaneously wiggling the fingers on both hands as we made our way up and down. Such breathing is called coherent breathing, breathing for longevity. We practice that because the average healthy adult person takes 15 breaths per minute. And so when we slow our breathing down to that 6 count inhale and exhale, we slow it down to 5 breaths per minute. And one thing we notice, the longer people do yoga, the more slowly their respiration rate is. Of course, has all kinds of benefits. Wherever you are in your process, please finish one last full complete circle going in this direction. Get back to the starting place, have a little pause. Get yourself resituated. And we're going to go in that opposite direction. So belly is engaged, feet are aligned, body is ready to go. We start to take that simple breath first, and then move in that opposite direction. We're jotting down our observations in our own personal little notebook regarding our breath, sensations, and emotions. I notice that as I move in this direction, that the crunching and pumping and grinding and crackling of my joints and the neck and the shoulders on this side are so loud. I'm sure the microphone picked it up, you're hearing it as well. What do you notice about your observations with yourself? Wherever you are in your process, please finish one last full complete circle in this direction. Get back to the starting place, have a little pause. Let the chin into the chest and slowly roll back up. Hands fall down to the side and let them shake out. Let's find our way coming to standing. Take your time. Make your way to standing. You can use your chair as a little tool that if you find yourself becoming a little bit wobbly or something, we have a chair, because we know that the balancing, flexibility, agility, mobility, strength, and stability. We want to do all of those things. We know how important that is for all people. So we're going to come into, how we just did that. Circles as we were seated. This time we're going to do it where we are standing, and we're going to take the feet hip distance apart, placing the hands on the hips. We're going to come into a slow motion hula hoop. Imagine that you have those juicy hips, bending the knees and circling, making sure that we keep the belly engaged. Doing as slowly as we can. So here we are doing that circular movement while we are upright. Noticing what you notice, keeping those hips juicy, shoulders and hips all in socket joints. Motion is lotion as we move the body to stimulate the body's natural spa lotion, if you will, to release. And so we're giving ourselves a little internal massage. Excellent. One last circle going in this direction. And then when you get back to the starting place, just have a little pause. Take a little breath. And then, of course, we'll start going in that opposite direction. So bending the knees and then starting to take circles in that opposite direction. Once again, asking yourself, what do you notice? Breath, sensation, emotion. You make those juicy hips. We know that 1 out of every 3 of us, age 65 plus, statistically, is likely to have a fall within the calendar year. So we want to keep ourselves agile and stable. And a lot of that depends on the strength, big muscles in our body, the hips and the buttocks. There's lots of different things we do to strengthen and to be stable, to prevent ourselves from having falls. We're learning how to fall in a good way so that we don't hurt ourselves, and to have a quick recovery afterwards. One last circle. Excellent. Get back to the starting place. Let the hands fall down to the side. Bring the feet closer together. And then we're going to do our knee circles. There's thought to be a beautiful line of energy that swirls around the ankles. And so when we do our knee circles, we get into that. So we're going to let hands slide down to right above our knees. Bend the knees. Get yourself nice and solid. And then start making circles in one direction. Good, you're doing great. If you're like me, your hands on the knees, you could feel all kinds of grinding and crunching and things happening. And now we're going to go in that opposite direction. We'll find ourselves sliding our hands up to our thighs and finding ourselves in a seated position. Excellent. Beginning as we begin, reminding yourself of your intention that you chose. Bringing the palms together, rubbing them, creating just a bit of warmth. Prayer hands together at heart center, with the thumbs gently touching the sternum. Feeling the beating of the heart and the rhythm of the breath. Thank you so much for sharing your yoga practice together today. The energy that you bring is so warmly appreciated by everyone. May your yoga practice be a blessing to you, to all your bigger, broader community. The light in you sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.